Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady.
And I'm Aiden.
And today we are tackling the wave bed. Finally. After months and months of talking about doing it, we're doing it.
Yes.
And today, everybody, is the last day of autumn. Which means tomorrow is my favorite day of the year.
Yes.
Winter solstice. So this will be an easy thing to remember that we planted this on December 20th.
Yes.
So for future reference, this is maybe part of my strategy. So what we have here is a bit of a mess. We have a lot of self-sown oats from last year. We have an incredible infestation of common vetch, which is the worst plant ever. Terrible, terrible weed. And then we've got the leftover Thailand giants to come out. We actually have a ton of sweet potatoes in here. And we're thinking that we might leave them in the ground because they will perennialize and overwinter. And then we won't have to plant sweet potatoes next summer. Also, we're just trying to do this in the easiest way possible because we've got like 2 hours of daylight left.
Yep.
And then planting wise, my main goal this year was to do a big Texas bluebonnet display. So the purplish blue lupins. I also think I want to do clumps of wheat. So we have some of that. And then we have the giant poppies that were sent to me from England. And I'm really, really excited about that. So now I'm sort of shifting my priority to make it mostly poppies. But we're going to go ahead and do the lupins and the wheat as well. And well, I think it's going to be really beautiful. And hopefully it'll be in full bloom for the Spring Open Garden, which is the Saturday of Mother's Day weekend. So everybody, stay tuned to watch our progress. We've got seeds to harvest. We have this whole bed to clear out, and then we'll get busy sowing seeds. All right, so to speed up the germination of the lupins, I am going to just soak these in some hot tap water. And that process is really easy. You just fill a bowl or bucket with, again, just hot tap water, not boiling water. And then you just dump the seeds in. And I've done this earlier this year, and within 48 hours of the seed soak, they were already germinating. So that's why I waited to do this until the day that we are planting, because I didn't want them to germinate without them actually going into the ground. So I'm doing a lot because, again, we've got about 600 square feet out there in the bed, and though it's not going to be a solid mass of lupins, I do want the lupins to be, a significant part of the installation. So I did, well, this many. Not that that really helps identify. And I can always soak more if I find that this isn't enough. So that's the process. I'm just going to leave these in here till we get the bed prepped, so that it'll be really easy to just go ahead and scatter them out. And of course, soaking seeds is a type of scarification. It's basically just breaking down the seed coat to allow germination to happen faster. And it's something that you would typically do with larger seeds that are really hard. So you wouldn't scarify poppy seeds. Those are like dust. You don't scarify tomato seeds. They're too small. They don't need it. They don't have an outer coating that's inhibiting germination. But for something that's large like this, and of course, these are a nitrogen fixing legume, and this is pretty typical of a strategy for getting, say, like beans to germinate more rapidly. You soak them in hot water. So this is a really easy form of scarification that just is generally recommended for large, hard seeds. So Aiden had the brilliant idea to use the flamethrower, which he bought me for Christmas last year, and we haven't used. And so, oh yeah, I think this is gonna be a game changer to kill, especially the vetch. Look at how fun this is. Oh boy, David's gonna be like, you guys use the flamethrower without supervision. Except that we just got 3 inches of rain, so I am not worried about starting a wildfire. And we have hoses nearby. Oh, this is a game changer, Aiden. Thank you for my Christmas present.
Oh, yeah.
Well, honestly, we could weed for another 6 hours and still not get all that vetch out, but we've made a big impact. And of course, I can weed the vetch all winter long as it continues to grow. So what's happening now is Aiden has made the clumps for the grains, and we're gonna sow rye down at that end. We're gonna sow barley in the middle and wheat over here. And let me get the camera over there so you can see that process. So he's just dug a hole and he's putting a pack in. We've decided for maximum, just generally making things look awesome, we're gonna do 2 packs per hole. So I'm gonna come back through and add another pack just to make sure that these clumps are really substantial. So now he's sowing the barley, and then up there is gonna be the wheat. And again, this is rye, and you see those seeds in the hole there. Of course, you can still see there's lots of vetch in here. And, you know, right now it's pretty easy to pull out, though I'm sure I'm not getting the entire root system. But we're gonna go ahead and do the overseeding, and I can always come through and spend a few minutes every day and I'll still never get all of it. That's the thing with this. It's a terrible, terrible plant. And you'll see other grass growing. This is self-sown oats from last year, and we're leaving that. That's why we didn't do clumps of oats, because we've got kind of a nice understory of the oats that are self-sown. All right, now Aiden's gonna rake them over again. A lot of the process of cottage gardening is raking. Raking to prep the bed, raking the seeds in. And so our next step will be to get the lupines put in. And then our final step will be the poppies. Remember, the poppies are always the very last. You don't walk on them, you don't rake them, you don't mulch them. All right, I can't believe it. We can almost check this off the list. I definitely think everybody needs to invest in a flamethrower. That is the coolest tool. And you know, even if it's not totally killing the plants, at least it's knocking them back so they can't photosynthesize. You know, at this stage, it's kind of like anything that will help kill back that common vetch is, it's just such a bad plant. Okay, so my next step is to sow all these lupines, and well, I was just debating on, like, they probably would be better to be thumbed in, but I don't know if I really want to do that much. So I think what we'll do is,
I mean, we can just put it in, just rake it in.
Right, we could rake it in, maybe rake it in with the back of the rake, and that would get it better soil contact.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, we'll experiment, and then we'll come back to you to tell you what we ended up doing. So I just got to drain the water off right now. So I almost forgot that in addition to the new giant poppies, which show everybody this huge container. Thank you, Mark. I mailed you a package to England yesterday, so hopefully you'll like the seeds that I sent you. This is enough poppies for like years, so we can be generous with our application. But I had also originally dreamt of this being purple and orange. And so I wanted to make sure we didn't forget the California poppies in addition to the giant poppies. So I'm going to concentrate the California poppies closer to the edge because they're so short. And these giant ones are going to be every bit 4 or 5 foot tall. They're going to go more in the middle. And we're not really worried about overseeding where the grain clumps were. Because remember, we don't do any thinning here. We let the plants fight it out. And well, all of these plants are going to be amazing. Yes. So in review, we have the Texas bluebonnets, the lupines. We've got barley, wheat, rye, oats that are self-sown. We're going to have California poppies, and we're going to have giant poppies. So I think the wave is going to be amazing.
Oh yeah, it is.
I mean, it is every year, and every year it's different, but this is the most different that we've ever done. I don't think we've ever done this many flowers.
I don't think so either.
We usually do it as primarily grains.
Yes.
So everybody mark your calendars for the spring open garden. I think this is going to be a real showpiece. Okay, well, remember poppies are always last. We're at the last step, so once we sow this seed, that's it. No more walking, no more raking, no mulching. We get to go inside and eat dinner.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's show them the poppy sowing process. Yes. All right, so we've got California poppies. We've got a handful of seeds. I'm gonna remember concentrate these along edges, and I wanna show you the bowling method, which I have too many seeds in my hand to do properly, so let me adjust that. Okay, smaller version, and I'm gonna take my hand, throw it back, and then didn't really do it exactly where I should have. I think it's gonna be easier for me to walk backwards and get this method accomplished a little bit better. Well, everybody, we did it.
Yes, we did.
And the sun is still up.
Oh yeah.
Although it's going down quickly.
And it's cold.
It's cold. Today is the shortest day of the year, officially.
Yes.
And tomorrow is my favorite day of the year. The real reason for the season, because the season changes officially tomorrow on winter solstice. And we, of course, look forward to sharing updates right here from our Zone 7 Central, we're Zone 8 now. It's a hard habit to break. Central North Carolina garden, where we have just gotten the big wave border planted for the cool season. Again, I'm going to recap. We did lupines,
yes,
grains,
yes,
and 2 types of poppies. So be sure to subscribe so that you can stay in the loop as all of this stuff starts to germinate and I continue to battle the common, common vetch. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching, and happy gardening and happy solstice.